Peace, 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 peace. Welcome to another chance to labor in the vineyard of the Most High with your brother. Alright? Another chance to get in the Word and eat what the Most High got to serve. And we're going to follow up on the last video where we went into the soul. This time we're going to see how Satan and his demons, how they set traps for us. Alright? How they set traps to ensnare us, to keep us stuck in the matrix and to remain spiritually dead. Alright? And to remain with that veil of darkness covering our eyes and our minds. Alright? So that we can't see and reconnect with the Most High. Alright? So let's eat. We're gonna start in the Nag Hammadi. The Nag Hammadi. And we're gonna go into the authoritative teaching. Alright. I got the old school Nag. So start on page 306. For death and life are set before everyone. Whichever of these two they wish, then they will choose for themselves. He then, the Most High, wishing to reveal his wealth and his glory, brought about a great contest in this world, wishing to make the contestants appear and make all those who contend, meaning those who contest in the contest, leave behind the things that had come into being, and despise them with the lofty, incomprehensible knowledge, and to flee to the one who exists. Alright, so right here we're seeing how the Most High then set up the game. Alright, so let's read it again. We're seeing how the Most High set the game up, and he set the contestants in the game to play. Alright. He then, the Father, wishing to reveal his wealth and his glory, brought about this great contest in the world. Alright, in the contest, alright, that's why it's things down here that we have to do so that we may receive the wealth and glory. Alright, but like on any game that we watch on the TV, the contestants have to go through something to be able to receive it. Alright, so like I said right here, he brought about this great contest in this world, wishing to make the contestants appear. Alright, you have to appear by being born again spiritually. Alright, because if you never are reborn or awakened spiritually, you don't know that you are a contestant in the contest. Alright, you just going along to get along. You just going along with the ways of the world, and you don't know that you're in the matrix. Alright, because the matrix is all you know, because your spirit haven't awoke yet. Alright, so everything is normal to somebody who's in the world, that's of the world. Alright, but we commanded to be in the world but not of the world. So we commanded to come out of the matrix. But it ain't for everyone to come out. Alright. And make all those who contend leave behind the things that had come into being. Speaking on the things of the world, the material things of the world that our flesh enjoy and lust after. And despise them with the lofty, incomprehensible knowledge, and flee to the one who exists. The one who exists is the Most High in the spiritual realm. Alright, and the incomprehensible knowledge is the knowledge that we get from the Most High, which the people of the world don't have, meaning that they don't have true knowledge. Alright, and as for those who contend with us, meaning the ones of the world, alright, being adversaries who contend against us, we are to be victorious over their ignorance through our knowledge. the incomprehensible knowledge that we read about just now. All right, the knowledge from the Most High. Since we have already known that inscrutable one, who is the Most High, from whom we have come forth. All right. Our hearts are set on things that exist. All right. Our hearts are set on the true reality of existence. All right. The spiritual things. All right. Though we are ill and feeble and in pain, all right, that's speaking on the body, all right, being that we exist in the body, in the world, but we still are not of the world, all right? Our body gets ill and feeble, and our spirits may be in pain due to the foolishness that we forced to endure down here, all right? But there's a great strength hidden within us, all right? And that's just like the Christ, our big brother. He got weak at times. He cried at times. He went off in the woods to be by himself because he was frustrated at times. All right? But there was a great strength within him that he knew. And that same strength resides within us. All right? Our soul indeed is ill because she dwells in a house of poverty, speaking on the flesh, while matter strikes blows at her eyes. And these are the material things of the world, wishing to make her blind. For this reason, she, the soul, pursues the word and applies it to her eyes as a medicine, opening them. All right. So what does your soul pursue? The word. That's why Christ always taught us, you err in not knowing the scriptures. Because that's where your strength and your power come from. That's your sword, like the Most High say. His word is the sword. All right. So again, for this reason, the soul pursues the word and applies it to her eyes as a medicine, opening them. And he, Christ, applies the word to her eyes as a medicine to make her see with her mind. Again. And he applies the word to her eyes, the soul. He applies the word to the soul's eyes as a medicine to make her see with her mind and perceive her kinsman and learn about the root, about her root, in order that she might cling to her branch from which she have first come forth, in order that she might receive what is hers and renounce matter. All right? Renounce the things of the world. All right? And the word, like he said right here, which is the medicine that helps her see with her mind, that's what gives her spiritual insight. All right? We get our spiritual insight and our discernment from the word. And through that, we are able to perceive our kinsmen, our spiritual family, our spiritual brothers and sisters. We also able to perceive who are the demons. All right. We able to perceive who are the wicked of the world who follow the demons. All right. So we get our spiritual discernment from our medicine, which is the word, the medicine for our souls. All right. Thus, the soul needs a word every hour to apply it to her eyes as a medicine, in order that she may see, and her light may conceal the hostile forces that fight with her, and she may make them blind with her light, which is her truth, her intelligence, and enclose them in her presence, and make them fall down in sleeplessness. And she may act boldly with her strength and with her scepter, her sword. The Most High said he gave us a sword, which is his word, because it cuts. For many are her homeborn ones who fight against her by day and by night, having no rest by day or by night, for their lusts oppress them. All right. So we got many brothers and sisters out here who are oppressed by their lust. And like I said right here, they have no rest by day or night. All right. So when you working 60, 70, 80 hours a week, you ain't got no rest because of the lust of your flesh. All right? You want that great big house. You want that new car. You want to buy all these shoes on their release date. All right. You want all fancy things. You want fancy items all in your fancy house. All right. And the more things that your flesh lusts after, the more you have to work, because you have to keep accumulating more and more wealth to be able to take care of your wants. All right. For this reason, then, do we not sleep, nor do we forget the nets that are spread out in hiding, lying in wait for us to catch us. All right, so now we're about to see how the demons lay these traps in the spiritual realm to catch us. All right, these are the nets that they lay out. For if we are caught in a single net, it will suck us down into its mouth, while the water flows over us, striking our face. And we will be taken down into the dragnet, and we will not be able to come up from it, because the waters are high over us, flowing from above downward, submerging our heart down in the filthy mud. The filthy mud is the filthy waters of the world. All right. And we would not be able to escape from them. For man-eaters will seize us. Man-eaters are demons. All right. Satan's goal was to oppress men and make them miserable. All right. So that they could not return to the Most High. All right. And so that they will be cast off the same way him and his angels are going to be cast off. And the Most High had told them already from the beginning. So Satan made it his business to set up traps to take as many down with them as he could. That was his way of getting back at the Most High. All right. He want people to follow his plan. Because like in Isaiah 14 told us, he said he gonna be like the Most High upon the earth. All right. Because he got sent upon the earth before we did. All right. So he had time to see and navigate. As they say, Satan goes to and fro. All right. And in that time, he set up traps. All right. And because you're not going to outsmart him unless you know the word, the majority of people fall right into his traps. All right. For man-eaters or demons will seize us and swallow us, rejoicing like a fisherman casting a hook into the water. All right. So now we see the hook. That's in the title of the video. The hook is what the demons are fishing with. All right. That's how they gonna catch us. That's how they out here catching people. All right. Spiritual things. All right. Spiritual things. The demons study us. They sit back and they cast the hook in the water and they wait on us to bite. All right. So now let's continue so we can see how they do it. For he casts many cans of food. Speaking on the demons, Satan and his angels. They cast many kinds of food into the water, because each one of the fish has his own food. All right. Each one of us got something that we cater to. All right. What you like? Shoes? You like clothes? You like jewelry? You can't get enough of food? You in love with celebrities? You in love with yourself? You love draws, whatever it is that you lust for and you desire for. You lust for power, you lust for drugs, you want to get high, whatever it is. They got a hook waiting on you to where when they catch you, they gonna reel you in. And like you say, the filthy waters gonna start to come over your head as you indulge more and more and more into it. All right, let's keep going. Again, for man-eaters or demons will seize us and swallow us, rejoicing like a fisherman casting a hook into the water. For he casts many kinds of food into the water, because each one of the fish has its own food. He smells it and pursues its odor. But when he eats it, the hook hidden within the food seizes him and brings him up by force out of the deep waters. In this very way, we exist in this world like fish, The adversary is Satan, all right, and his angels, all right. They're the adversaries to the Most High and his angels, all right. The adversary spies on us, all right. They sit back and scope us in the spiritual realm because we are spirits, all right. It's a spirit inside of your flesh, all right. And they sit back and they watch us to see what your spirit cater to, all right. What your weakness is, what you lust for, what your flesh lust for that you can't get enough of, all right. The adversary spies on us, all right. And people don't get it where it's like, that's where these spirits come from. The spirit of addiction, all right. Do you like cigarettes and can't get enough? That's a spirit of addiction. The spirit of anger, all right. Angry people that just blow up over anything and it set them off. That's a hook right there. They can send somebody your way to set you off, and that's their way of using you, all right. Because anger can be used to cause problems in the world, and that's what Satan wants to do, all right. Because anger makes the Holy Spirit flee, all right. The same way addiction makes the Holy Spirit flee, all right. The spirit of perversion makes the Holy Spirit flee, all right. The covetous person who just greedy and can't get enough, all right. You don't have no time for the Most High because you're greedy, all right. So you ain't gonna be in these scriptures, or you ain't gonna be learning nothing about the spiritual realm because you like the physical realm and the things that it provides you with. All right. Again, the adversary spies on us, lying in wait for us like a fisherman, wishing to seize us, rejoicing that he might swallow us. For he places many foods before our eyes, things which belong to this world. He wishes to make us desire one of them, and to taste only a little, so that he may seize us with his hidden poison, and bring us out of freedom and take us into slavery. For whenever he catches us with a single food, it is indeed necessary for us to desire the rest. All right. So you might start off with cigarettes, then you might want some weed, and then you might want to mix that with a little alcohol, and then you might want you some pills. All right. And as you continually to try new foods, you continue to grow in your ignorance. All right. And it's the same way. All right. With people that lusting for money or power. All right. You might do this little thing right here to get a little bit of power, but then when they come offering you a little more power, what won't you do to keep escalating to where you will start hurting people, you will start knocking other people out the way, you will be willing to risk members of your physical family for you to elevate, all right? And it's a way and means that they study and see how far you willing to go to get these things that they show you, all right? The same way with somebody that's out here sleeping around to get things, all right? All right, you get a couple things, they're material things, and then the things you get start to increase in worth. So you start to do more and more things with your flesh to get the increased value of these things that's being offered to you. All right. So it operates in many different ways. All right. All right. Finally, then, again, hold on. For whenever he catches us with a single food, it is indeed necessary for us to desire the rest. Finally, then, such things become the foods of death. All right? Because your lust, your sins, gonna weigh you down. All right? The things you lust after, you already become spiritually dormant, spiritually dead, and them things start to deteriorate your lifestyle. They deteriorate your life. They deteriorate your flesh. They weigh on you. All right? And it leads to death, which it teaches us in this Bible that Satan, the adversary, don't come to do nothing but to kill, steal, and destroy. And that's what these hooks is for, to kill, steal, and destroy. Now these are the foods with which the devil lies in wait for us. First, he injects a pain into your heart until you have the heartache on account of a small thing of this life, and he seizes you with his poison. All right, and that's one way that he get people with the spirit of addiction, because they looking for relief from the world. All right. And afterward, he injects the desire of a tunic so that you will pride yourself in it. In love of money, pride, vanity, envy that rivals another envy, which that's what the spirit of anger does. It brings on another spirit of anger for you to battle against. Beauty of the body, all right, that's love of self right there. Fraudulence, people that's out here operating wicked operations, all right, scheming. The greatest of all these are ignorance and ease, all right, ignorance and ease, which that's why Christ says hard for a rich man to get into the kingdom, all right, because of the ease of his lifestyle and due to his ignorance of spiritual things, because he has plenty of money to not have a reason to look to the spiritual realm for assistance or help or elevation, because he can satisfy the lust of his flesh all the days of his life with no problem, not having to work hard. Now, all such things the adversary prepares beautifully and spreads out before the body, wishing to make the mind of the soul, speaking on your consciousness, wishing to make the mind of the soul incline her toward one of them and overwhelm her like a hook, drawing her by force and ignorance, deceiving her until she conceives evil and bears fruit of matter and conducts herself in uncleanness, pursuing many desires, covetousness, while fleshly pleasure draws her in ignorance. All right. But the soul, she who has tasted these things that awakens, realize that sweet passions are transitory. She had learned about evil. She went away from them and she entered into a new conduct. All right. That's the one, that's the soul that awakens, that comes into knowledge of the truth, that the matrix is transitory. It's an illusion. All right. She, that soul, despises this life because it is transitory. And she looks for those fools that would take her into the true life, spiritual, all right? And leaves behind her those deceitful foods, the foods of the matrix that the demons are throwing left and right. And she learns about her light as she goes about stripping off this world, while her true garment clothes her within. All right. And her bridal clothing is placed upon her in beauty of mind, beauty of spirit, not in the pride of flesh. All right. And she learns about her depth and runs into her fold, her brothers and her sisters spiritually, while her shepherd, who is her big brother, the Christ, stands at the door. In return for all the shame and scorn that she received in the world, she receives 10,000 times the grace and glory when she repents and comes into the true life, into knowledge of the truth. All right. But these, the ones who are ignorant, do not seek after the Creator, nor do they inquire about their dwelling place, which exists in rest, but they go about in bestiality. And when you in bestiality, you just operating off of your flesh, all right? All you care about is the things of the world. And when you in bestiality, you sensual, all right? You running off your emotions, your feelings, and the things of the world, they manipulate them feelings, all right? All right, so let's see. Right here it say, the soul who having left knowledge behind, which the true knowledge is knowledge of the Most High. That's the medicine that we read about earlier through the word that heals the soul. But those who left knowledge behind fell into bestiality, For a senseless person exists in bestiality, not knowing what it is proper to say and what is proper not to say. All right? They don't know what to do or what not to do according to the spirit because they follow the world. All right? They like, and it's all bestiality because like animals don't operate off the spirit. They operate off their animal instincts. All right? Which is the things of their flesh. All right? Indeed, they are the sons of the devil. All right? But the rational soul, who also wearied herself in seeking, she learned about her creator. She labored with inquiring, enduring distress in the body, wearing out her feet after the teachers of the creator, learning about the inscrutable one. All right. She found her rising. She came to rest in him who is at rest. She reclined in the bride chamber. She ate of the banquet for which she had hungered. She partook of the immortal food, which is spiritual. All right. She found what she had sought after. She received rest from her labors, while the light that shines forth upon her does not sink. All right. Now, let's read more about them immortal souls. Let's go to, I'm going to use the Law Scriptures book here. And we're going to go into the Coptic Apocalypse of Peter. For not every soul comes from the truth, nor from immortality. For every soul of these angels has death assigned to it in our view. All right. And that's because of the things that it lusts after, the things it craves after, which we read about. Those things bring about death. Consequently, it is always a slave. It is created for its desires and their eternal destruction, for which they exist and in which they exist. They, the souls, love the material creatures, speaking on the body, which came forth with them. But the immortal souls are not like these, Peter. Immortal souls are not like the mortal ones who love their flesh, all right, and lusting after the things that they can get with their flesh. But the immortal souls are not like these, Peter. But indeed, as long as the hour has not yet come, she, the immortal soul, will indeed resemble a mortal one. But she will not reveal her nature, although she alone is the immortal one and thinks about immortality. She has faith and desires to renounce these material things. All right. So the immortal soul knows that the things of the flesh, the things of the world are worthless. All right. And she desires to renounce them because all they do is make her a slave. All right. And that's how you get caught on the hook. All right. The hook that the demons set out here for you. All right. To where you become a slave, just working day and night. Like Mike said, working day and night with no rest and no time for the Most High, which means no time for spiritual elevation. All right. Which means you can't be resurrected from the dead. All right. Spiritually. All right. Because you don't have time for it. All right. Now let's go to Alma in the Book of Mormon. Alma, chapter 40, starting at verse 7. And now I would inquire what becomes of the souls of men from this time of death to the time appointed for the resurrection. All right, and the resurrection he's speaking on is the great judgment at the end of time when everybody is getting judged. And now, whether there's more than one time appointed for man to rise, it matters not. For all do not die at once, and this matters not. All right. And if you ask me, that's speaking on reincarnation. All right. But it's called regeneration in the scriptures. But it's everybody don't believe in that, and that's fine. All right, that's for the Most High to tell us the truth about. All is as one day with God, and time only is measured unto men. Therefore, there is a time appointed unto men that they should rise from the dead, and there is a space between the time of death and the resurrection. All right, and now concerning this space of time, what becomes of the souls of men is the thing which I have inquired diligently of the Lord to know. And this is the thing of which I do know. And when the time comes when all shall rise, then shall they know that the Most High knows all the times which are appointed unto men. All right. Now concerning the state of the soul between death and the resurrection, behold, it has been made known unto me by an angel that the spirits of all men, whether you are an atheist, whether you are Luciferian, it don't matter. Whether you believe or not, whether you worship Satan or the Most High, it has been made known unto me by an angel that the spirits of all men, as soon as they are departed from this mortal body, yea, the spirits of all men, whether they be good or evil, are taken home to that Creator who gave them life. And then shall it come to pass that the spirits of those who are righteous are received into a state of happiness, which is called paradise, a state of rest, a state of peace, where they shall rest from all their troubles and from all care and sorrow. And then shall it come to pass that the spirits of the wicked, yea, who are evil, for behold, they have no part nor portion of the Spirit of the Lord. For behold, they chose evil works rather than good. Therefore, the spirit of the devil, the spirit of Lucifer, did enter into them and take possession of their house. Their house is their temple, which is your body, all right? And your body is one temple and your spirit is another temple, if you read in Corinthians, all right? So Satan, Lucifer, can enter into them and take possession of them, all right? And that's why we read about the hooks that him and his demons throw out, all right? Through them hooks, they have access to come in, all right, when we allow them in, all right? And if you don't have strength and not strong enough to kick them out, then they take possession of your spirit and your body, all right? They take possession of your spirit by the things that you cater after, all right? And the veil of darkness that's placed upon you, to where you separated from a life with the Most High, all right? You refuse to be sanctified because you don't believe in none of that stuff. You don't think none of that stuff real, all right? And then through your body, because of the things that you partake of through the lust of your flesh, all right? And these shall be cast into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth, and this because of their own iniquity, being led captive by the will of the devil, or Lucifer, or Satan, the adversary. All right? Now, this is the state of the souls of the wicked, yea, in darkness, in a state of awful fearful, looking for the fiery indignation of the wrath of God upon them. Thus they remain in this state, as well as the righteous in paradise until the time of their resurrection. Alright, now let's go to verse 23. The soul shall be restored to the body, and the body to the soul. Yea, and every limb and joint shall be restored to his body. Yea, even the hair of the head shall not be lost, but all things shall be restored to their proper and perfect frame. All right, and that's in the restoration. Now let's go over, get more clarification. Let's go to chapter 41. Starting at verse 2. I say unto thee, my son, that the plan of restoration is requisite with the justice of the Creator. For it is requisite that all things should be restored to their proper order. Behold, it is the requisite and just, according to the power and resurrection of Christ, that the soul of man should be restored to his body, and that every part of the body should be restored to itself. And it is requisite with the justice of the Creator that men should be judged according to their works. And if their works were good in this life, and the desires of their hearts, were good, that they should also at the last day be restored unto that which is good. And if their works are evil, they shall be restored unto them for evil. Therefore, all things shall be restored to their proper order. Everything to its natural frame. Mortality raised to immortality, corruption to incorruption, raised to endless happiness to inherit the kingdom of the Creator, or to endless misery to inherit the kingdom of Lucifer. The one on one hand, the other on the other. The one raised to happiness according to his desires of happiness, or good according to his desires of good. And that's only for those who repent. All right, because if you think your actions was good when you truly was wicked, your soul gonna bear witness to that when you leave up out this flesh, and you gonna be awakened to the sad truth that you ran from for so long. And the other to evil, according to his desires of evil. For as he has desired to do evil all the day long, even shall he have his reward of evil when the night comes. And so it is on the other hand, all right, and when that say the night come, that means when you're not waking up in that flesh no more, all right. And so it is on the other hand, if he have repented of his sins and desire righteousness until the end of his days, even so he shall be rewarded unto righteousness. These are they that are redeemed of the Most High. All right. These are the redeemed of the Lord. Yea, these are they that are taken out, that are delivered from that endless night of darkness. And thus they stand or fall. For behold, they are their own judges, whether to do good or do evil. Now, the decrees of your Creator are unalterable. Therefore, the way is prepared that whosoever will walk therein and be saved. All right. So you got your choice while you down here in your time of probation. What you gonna do? You gonna follow Lucifer, or you gonna follow the Most High, who Lucifer rebelled against? All right. So that tell you if you following Lucifer, you going with Lucifer. You're not coming back to the Most High, because the Most High told Lucifer off top he won't coming back. All right. So that's why he let Lucifer loose to be an adversary to all those who want to follow the plan of Lucifer, like the 1/3 that was kicked out with him in the beginning. All right, like in Revelations 12. All right. So let's close it off in Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, in the Apocrypha. Chapter 10 of Ecclesiasticus, verse 29. Who will justify him that sins against his own soul? Again, who will justify him that sins against his own soul? And who will honor him that dishonors his own life? Spiritual things. All right. Who is going to justify you for sinning against your own soul? Not the Most High. Lucifer will attempt to, but hey, That's just an illusion to get you in the trap, to get you on the hook, to make you follow his plan and think that the Most High and his plan is not the only plan that can bring happiness, truth, and light to your life. Alright? That's something to eat on. Stay off the hook. Peace.